Hey there, Bruce from the Joinery Coach. I'm headed into the barn to shoot a podcast, and I'm a little bit head up. I'm a little bit ranty today. I'm just a little bit over some of the stuff that I'm hearing so much out on social space right now. So today I'm going to shoot a podcast. Now today's podcast is going to be just a little bit hard-hitting and maybe a little bit offensive. So if you're easily offended, do not watch today's podcast. But today I want to talk about some things that we have to get this industry moving forward on, and things that I'm hearing people saying and doing. People are in their comfort zone right now. There's a lot of stuff being said that aren't moving people out of their comfort zone, and I want to shake up the industry a little bit. We're seeing a little bit of a shift in the industry about people moving forward, but today I'm going to shoot a podcast today which might make you think. It might be a little bit offensive, it might be a little bit hard to hear, but if you're ready to shake things up and if you're ready to move things forward in business and actually make some forward steps and find that next level in business you're looking for, jump into today's podcast. I'll see you there. But again, if you're easily offended, do not watch today's podcast. Come on, let's get started.
The Joinery Business Podcast is sponsored by MaxCut Software. MaxCut is a small software business focusing on the cabinetry industry. Their main purpose and goal is to empower cabinet makers to estimate, cut, and complete cutless jobs more efficiently and easily without breaking the bank. Visit the MaxCut Software website linked in our description to try the free community edition of MaxCut Software to see what MaxCut can do for you.
Hey there. So like I said, today's going to be a little bit of a rant. Let's just start again. Hey there, welcome to today's podcast. As I said earlier, coming into the barn, I'm a little head up. I'm a little bit hot under the collar about a few things, and I want to get some things off my chest. And I'm going to do it in a way that might offend you. It might be a little bit hard to hear, might be a little bit hard hitting. And so again, if you're easily offended, please don't watch today's podcast. There's a lot of things that we're hearing out on social media. And look, social media is one of those double-edged sword things, right? Where it's easy to put your message out there. And it could be a good message or it could be a bad message. But communication has become as easy as just talking on your phone, and it goes out to literally millions and millions of people. So we're seeing more and more conversations or information from anyone and everyone these days, more so than ever in the history of the human race. What people will see is what they're looking for or what they gravitate towards. Now, what people gravitate towards as a human species, I'm not going to make myself into an expert of the human species, but I'm expecting that you would agree with this, that if something is easy and big and easy to identify, you're going to gravitate towards that because it's easier not only to understand, but it's easier to see. Big boulder, for example. How do we move this big boulder? Well, okay, I can see the big boulder. It's easy. So let's talk about it. How do we move it? Oh, I don't know. That's really hard. So we don't talk about moving it. We just talk about the big thing. That might be a bad example of where I'm going with this. But too many times out in the general social media space right now where people have a voice, we talk about the big things because the big things are easy to sell. It's easy to say, buy this thing and it'll solve your problem. The big things are what people are talking about. You think about like a watchmaker. You think about somebody with these really fine glasses on doing really fine detailed work on a watch. That's small and that's complicated and that's difficult. There's very few people in this world that are watchmakers because it's small and it's difficult. And there's very few conversations going out on social media, particularly in our industry, around the small and the difficult. But that's where the solutions are. The solutions are on the small, more complex things that you're not doing right now. The solutions are not found in the big easy. The solutions are not found in buying the big software, relying on AI to solve your problems, buying the big machine. They are tools. They're fantastic tools. You know, we were at a Biesi event the other day and they've got some beautiful machinery, some amazing machinery. But don't forget that these tools, don't matter whether it's AI, whether it's machinery, or whether it's software, that's all driven by people. Now, people will do what they do with these tools in their fingertips only with the skills and knowledge that they have, to their capabilities. And that will limit them out at that point. So if you buy this big, huge thing that someone convinced you to buy, you're only going to be able to use that to the limit of your abilities, your mental abilities, maybe your physical abilities, but it's going to limit you out. So we have to just stop for a moment. The whole industry just needs to stop for a moment and realize that, 30, 40 years ago, we were having conversations around business. And what were the struggles back then? What were the conversations? Can't find good people. Can't make enough profit. I need a bigger factory. I can't go fast enough. Bad customers. Not enough customers. There was a whole list of problems in business that we made 30, 40 years ago about business. Now fast forward to today, we've got all this fancy machinery, but yet it's the same list of problems in business. We have to realize that the fancy machinery, the big easy things that everybody was talking about didn't solve the business problems. What is missing from the conversation is what can we do with the people to give them more knowledge and ability and skill to know how to use those tools before they buy the software, before they buy the big machine, before anything. If we can work with you to improve your knowledge and your skill and your ability to do things better in business, when you know that, that's the difficult, that's the little small stuff. People out on social media are not talking about the difficult things. They're talking about things like, buy this new piece of this machinery or this new cutter, and it's gonna cut these parts better, and it's gonna make you more efficient. Now, what's driving me insane is that actually doesn't make you more efficient. The people about efficiencies, the experts about efficiencies will hear that and they'll go, oh, hang on, that actually doesn't create efficiencies. That creates one part of the process to become more efficient, but you're only ever gonna be as efficient as your slowest process, your bottleneck. And the conversation never talks about the bottleneck. We don't ever hear any experts out in the world, in our industry, talking about the bottleneck. Part of the problem here is that most of the experts right now that we'll see on social media are not talking at a level above where you are right now. They're talking at the same level. They're probably talking about things that you would want, that you think you want, a new cutter, a new machine, a new piece of software, and they're talking about that. They're not actually prepared to have the courage to talk about the things that you actually need. Right now, I'm having the courage, and my team has the courage to talk to you about the things that you probably don't know or believe that you need. But in actual fact, you can't believe right now that we sit here believing that buying a new machine or a new software is actually going to improve your business to any huge degree, because there's no evidence in the marketplace to say that's happened. Don't get me wrong, it makes a step forward, but it doesn't take the significant step forward, because liquidations in our industry right now, not only just here in Australia, but right around the world, business liquidations and closures right now are at an all-time high. Now, those businesses that are closing and going into liquidation, the vast majority of them have a fancy CNC machine and software and all that stuff, but yet they still hadn't found a way to make it work. So my rant today is about, we see some forward progress in the industry, but we need everybody to get on board with what actually needs to happen. We need to start with the knowledge and the ability of the owner and the senior team to know how to make a go of business in the first place. That's not tools, that's not anything, that's just knowledge in your head, the understanding about how to actually make the business into a better, thriving entity. And then to a large degree, it almost won't matter what tools you have. We at the Joinery Coach have a number of clients that are using some of the worst software I've seen with some of the oldest machinery I've seen. You know, some of them have CNC machines that are 15 years old, but they know exactly what they need to do with them, and they're raising their knowledge first. And they're leveraging some bad software into amazing results, because it's not about that. It's about what they know how to do with the thing they have. It starts with them and their knowledge, and they bought into that a long time ago. Therefore, regardless of what tools they have, what fancy machinery or software they have, the business is still successful. The business is not reliant on the big easy stuff, buying this, buying that, expanding the factory. It's reliant on the people, and the conversations that should be happening out on social media and all around the world is not about the thing that you should purchase or the big thing that's going to solve a problem. It's about you knowing first how to solve that problem. That's the small, difficult stuff. So my rant today is really hopefully to give a little bit of a shake-up in the space and get everybody into focus that what's most important first is the ability, the knowledge in people's heads and their ability to do things before they go off and take some of these fancy tools. All right, that's it for me. That's my rant. Have an awesome day. Cheers.